Here we go.
Bring this closer to me.
Is anybody there? Hello?
I think we are live. Good morning. Welcome to the Magnet Labs podcast. I am Ryan. This is Emily. This is Shannon. RJ is sick. It's very sad, but we are all here to discuss the latest. We're a few minutes late. I know you know that because you've been waiting. But if you're listening later, you don't care. This is on demand, man.
It's all media should be.
Right?
Yeah.
As all media should be. Like, if you expect it, I mean, well, okay, I was going to say something that didn't make any sense because we want it to be appointment viewing.
Right.
But we also want you to listen or watch.
We want
it.
people to
options.
join the hangout and put their 2
Absolutely.
cents in.
Like, chime in and let us see your little head.
Even if
and
you
say
have
things.
half a cent, it would be appreciated.
Even half a cent
Chime in with your half a cent.
would be
I
appreciated.
can smell out of one nostril.
Oh, man. So it's Wednesday, September 24th,
I think.
2014. And we are here at Magnet Media Studios in New York. So we just jump right into these things.
Yeah.
So first story here, Shannon was our curator this week, largely, I think. And Emily pulled a couple of things
This
here.
was an Emily.
Oh, this is an Emily. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Emily and Shannon. I did nothing.
We'll just call it a team effort.
So do you want to take us into this here?
Sure. So, though I don't know terribly much about Alibaba, I do know that it's an Amazon-type marketplace site based
Right.
in China. And apparently it just went absolutely nuts when it opened on the stock exchange last week.
Yeah.
It had largest debut, I think, in history.
Wow.
It opened at $92.70 a share,
Wow.
which it says is
insane.
36% higher than its IPO price of 68.
Wow.
So I just remember, I think, what did it say? It was on Friday. I just
Yeah.
remember, like, all of a sudden the Facebook feed was like,
All of the,
every
yeah,
news story
everything.
was like,
Was
whoa,
about-
Well, it
Alibaba
says-
is going
so
crazy.
this is their market capitalization Friday morning. It reached 228.5 billion, higher than Amazon, Facebook, eBay, and General Electric. What's still lagging behind Google, Apple, and
Combined.
Microsoft?
No.
And then they updated it. Stock closed at $93.89, up 38%.
Wow.
I mean, think about the marketplace there, though. I mean, like,
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
part of it.
big.
It's just like there's such a large market to begin with. It's like
And-
anything.
and
You
they're
can
probably
reach
going to
everyone in that
explode
country.
soon as far as, like, you know, people with money and discretionary income and stuff. So,
Yeah.
like, if they keep, you know, progressing
It
the way that
says
they happen.
with Alibaba Public founder Jack Ma, who owns 7.8% of the company, he now stands as the richest man in China
Wow.
with an estimated net worth of 21.9 billion,
Oh my
according to
gosh.
Bloomberg.
So I wonder
And he
how
only
much
owns
the government is
7.8%.
going to be, like, watching him like a hawk
Oh my
now,
God,
yeah.
you know, like.
His life. I can't
Yeah.
imagine it.
This is fascinating. So
Yeah.
I don't know much more about this. I mean, I feel like we were just talking about this before we started. I don't think I'd even heard of Alibaba a year ago. But
I think
in
I
the
only
last
heard of
year,
it, yeah. I've heard of it. You mentioned it, I think,
Mhm.
in a recent maybe podcast or something, and I was like, Alibaba.
What is
I
that?
don't know
Yeah,
what
it
that
just
is,
kind of
you
kept
know?
coming up, and then
Mhm.
I remember stumbling upon it before I'd even read stories about it, but just in like searching for something,
Mhm.
found a bunch of results, and I was like, "What is this?" And I just thought it was like some like low end crappy thing, and then I was like, "Oh, this is like."
So
a big
can
thing.
we purchase stuff from there in America, or is it just only in China right now?
I'm not sure about that. I want to say yes.
I mean, if the price is that high, it must be international,
yeah,
right?
let's just Google it up real quick
Alibaba.
here. Oh, I didn't. I should have been.
All I can
screen
think of
sharing
is
this, I'm
Alibaba
sorry.
and the 40 Thieves.
I know.
I know.
I
Like,
know, the name is
Strange
distracting.
name. Are you saying you're stealing my money from me, or?
Global trade starts here is the tagline.
Oh.
Wow.
So
Huh.
it must be everywhere.
Global.
Is it like
Mhm.
brand name stuff, or is it where you buy in bulk?
Let's see. Let's just go to women's
Yeah, I don't know.
clothing just for fun.
Yeah, women's
Amazon
clothing,
seems to be the
for
closest
sure.
comparison I always hear.
So
Okay, if rugby shirts come up at the top of the list, I'm not sure they're really up to speed.
maybe that's of global interest.
Circa 2001.
What about the silver fox fur vest? Whole fox fashion 2014.
Oh, wow. Is the head included, or?
Head sold separately.
Wow.
Goodness.
All right, so
I
it's
feel like this
literally anything
Alice
you could want.
Strong girl, I recognize her. I don't
Oh,
know.
Fast
why.
Company's West Coast correspondent.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Based in San Francisco.
We
Maybe you've
should
met.
LinkedIn her.
Yeah.
See if she.
I enjoyed your Alibaba piece.
Yeah. Can you tell me more about these rugby shirts?
Mostly we want to know about that. So do we have anything else to say on this? I don't really have any deep thoughts on this, but
I think it's just worth talking
noteworthy.
about for a quick second because it's apparently a huge deal.
So Apple news in the last couple weeks, we can't not have an Apple story. This was the first I had heard this, and I was surprised actually. So screen sharing. Apple plans to phase out Beats music brand. An uncertain future for Apple's streaming music service. This is on The Verge. I was surprised. I really kind of thought that half of the value in buying Beats was the brand across the board. Not that Apple needs brand, but I mean just add some street cred and obviously the hardware piece. But the music store, I really thought they would just like roll that into their own thing and rebrand iTunes Radio that didn't really do well.
Cannibalizing their own marketplace. I mean,
well, they just like call it Apple Beats or something. I figured they would just like incorporate it and make that the iTunes Radio, but better. But it sounds like maybe they will. They're just getting rid of the name. I don't know. I haven't read this whole piece yet.
Yeah. Well, it does say that an Apple spokesman said it was not true, but he wouldn't say anything else.
Yeah.
So who believes that? But it says what else?
It's not
that they
true
may
until...
modify the Beats brand over time. What that probably means that they're going to completely change it.
Yeah.
I feel like they're so fanatical kind of about their own branding, which works in their favor.
Yeah.
But that they probably couldn't even stomach the thought of like having something look and feel a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I wonder, like with the headphones and stuff, I feel like it would be a mistake probably to get rid of the brand name Beats on those because it's like already a established street cred thing.
So 50 Cent doesn't own those? What?
Dre.
Oh, Dre, that's right.
Well, he sold it. I mean, I think he's a huge
Dre
stakeholder now,
right.
but he basically sold it to them. Yeah, and it made him like the wealthiest
richest
hip-hop
man in hip-hop.
guy.
I wonder if they just wanted to kill it off by like buying it and then like you're done.
I mean, the hardware stuff though, I feel like they stand to gain from selling it.
Right.
And I would be surprised if they got rid of that brand. It'd just be like Apple Beats, which has already been on sale in Apple Store anyways. They're already getting a cup, and now they're getting all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would be my assumption. But that's that piece. I don't know about the store, but I mean, we were just talking about this. We've talked about it on the podcast. I tried their free, week or whatever, and I really liked it. Like what it was interesting about it. I liked the interface. I really liked that, like, sort of their main selling point, I think, is that the curation piece is not just an algorithm. There are actual people that are like curating stuff for you.
Oh, so it's like a real.
So like, check out this playlist
radio.
from the editors of such and such. And and then also like it would ask you what you like. So some of it was algorithm, but then it would really tailor up so that like you had this whole homepage that was like, oh, you liked that one song by such and such. Here's an entire to get you started. Here's what you should listen to from them if you want to like get to know them. Like it was kind of cool. It felt like magazine kind of style, front page kind of style. I didn't stay with it just because I was already kind of hooked into RDO or radio, however you say it. And it was harder to find. Like you had to really dig in to just be like, what are the top songs right now, or what's the latest releases? Like they buried all that stuff because it seemed like it was so focused on getting you to discover stuff, all about discovery. And like, keep listening to back catalog, please, get some revenue going.
It's kind of neat.
Like, don't just listen to that new Rihanna song on repeat, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Even though that song's probably really good. I love Rihanna.
I'm screen sharing here. Sorry. But yeah, this is interesting and surprising.
It's interesting. I'll be curious to see what actually happens.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah. We shall see.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured they would merge them all in some way.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised to think that they would just get rid of the brand.
Me too.
All right. What's next here? Any other thoughts on this? Anyone? No?
No, not really.
Some entertainment news that I feel like RJ should be here for.
I know. I feel like this is in his...
He wants to make this like the all entertainment podcast, I feel like.
Right. It's true. This really doesn't have much to do with digital. Although,
I'm sure
you could stream this
HBO
on
Go,
Netflix.
It's all related.
Oh, not Netflix.
So
You're right.
Maybe one of you
HBO
guys should
Go.
bring to do this one. I've never seen True Detective, even though I've
Wait,
heard great
what?
things.
Well, we should talk about
I'll leave
that.
it to you guys. I'd like to. I hear nothing but great things.
It's
So
really
so many
dark.
hours in the day.
It's very dark. It's a little disturbing there in the
like
middle,
dark.
especially. I was like,
Yeah.
it's getting me nightmares. but it's really good. I didn't love the ending, I will say.
It got a little
Didn't it get a little
mythical.
too like, here's a bow and everything just fine?
Oh, really? Just wrapped it up a
Well,
little too
because
gently?
I didn't
Not exactly.
realize
I mean,
they were
still worth
going to
watching. It
do
doesn't spoil
like
anything, but
that each season was going to be about different detectives. Like I
didn't
thought
hate
they
it
were
either.
going to come back,
Yeah.
and so I don't know if these guys can really top Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson because they were just amazing together.
So I realize
They
if
were
you're
very
listening, you don't know what the story is because we didn't say.
Oh,
HBO
yeah. Okay, so
confirms Vince
HBO,
Vaughn.
yeah.
Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell
just
as True
start
Detective Season
talking
2
about
stars.
it.
You probably already know that. All over
So
the place
Vince Vaughn,
yesterday.
I just don't see as like a serious actor in
Yeah.
any way. I mean, he's hilarious,
Wrong.
but like, what is this going to turn into a buddy cop show? Is
Yeah.
this like season going to be funny instead of really, really dark? I mean, that would be a total twist. I don't know. And then Colin Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's beautiful, but
Really interesting.
how is an
I feel
Irish dude like a cop over here now? I don't know. Like,
Of course, he's done
Yeah.
that before. I feel like multiple times.
Yeah, he can do the accent.
I mean, not knowing
American
the show,
accent.
but understanding it's dark and everything. At the same time, I feel like, I mean, Vince Vaughn isn't a comedian, but he's always in comedies.
Yeah.
mhm.
But I mean, there's a long history, I feel like, of comedians and comic actors then doing a complete flip and doing something
Yeah.
completely dark. And I mean, Rob
Right.
Williams in 1 Hour Photo or whatever, like
That's very true.
Insomniac, a couple different things where
Or
like
Jim
they usually
Carrey
are
tried
really
it,
strong
yeah.
actors. Yeah, doesn't always work for them.
Yeah.
Like as far as with people accepting it, but they're usually
They're usually pretty good.
do
Or they
great
can
work.
be.
I mean, generally comedians have a really dark side.
Well,
That's
I've
why they're
heard
comedians.
too
Right.
that they're still trying to figure out the main female role, and like
Mm.
shooting starts soon, and
Oh,
they're
wow.
like, deciding between 6 different actresses, none of whom like look similar or have similar backgrounds. So it's sort of
Really?
like,
They're like, we can go
Yeah.
this way or this way.
Yeah.
right. I think it's actually maybe about who identifies with the character as opposed to like we have this aesthetic that like we want for the show.
Mm.
That'll be
So,
interesting.
Yeah.
And I think too in the last season, Woody Harrelson's character had a little bit of comic relief,
Mhm,
here and there.
sure.
So maybe Vince Vaughn will be the one to have that side, whereas Matthew McConaughey was like so serious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
We need to watch it.
Well, what if
Yeah,
it was
it's
actually the
definitely worth watching.
opposite? Like, what if Colin Farrell was like the comic relief, like
Oh,
Hot
switch.
Fuzz
Throw
style or
some.
something?
Yeah.
Like, that would
Fuzz
be
up.
great.
Yeah.
I'm still intrigued. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, me too. I'm pretty excited.
I'm very curious for sure. But it is digitally related, seeing as HBO Go and
I only
the
stream
ongoing
HBO. That's
conversation.
how I
There you
watch
go.
it.
Yeah, you only get it digitally. So
Oh,
Wait,
only get
really? Don't you have to have a subscription somehow?
yeah. Have you never seen that video? This was a couple years ago with
Yeah.
it was always like one person after it was like a game of telephone where they were just like, hey, can you get the password? What's the password? And it just keeps going a chain all the way until it ends
Right.
up with like I don't remember who it was, like De
Yeah.
Niro or someone who's like,
yeah.
all right, I'll give you
Here's
the
the
password. Or whatever. Like it was like
mean,
everyone was using someone else's
Does that
password.
benefit them? I know there's only one person paying for the subscription, but then there's more people seeing the content.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, they,
And I
you
think
know
also-
they are aware, and obviously probably
Yeah.
could find ways to lock that down. I mean, Netflix even has a thing where it's like, depending on your plan, you can only have so many simultaneous streams.
Yeah. I've had that happen because I share it with my friend and my sister, and it's happened before to me
Mhm.
where they're like, "You can't watch right now." It's
Right.
everyone-
Yeah.
I'm like, sign off.
But
I
they
left
seem to
my
have just let
smart
that open.
TV with
Yeah.
my family, and it was hooked up to my old roommate's Netflix. And my little brother, who's 12, was like,
Oh, no.
"Shannon, can you tell your old roommate to re-up her Netflix? It keeps blocking us." I was like, "No, get your own."
Oh, geez.
That's so funny.
Probably get a free trial for the amount of time they needed. and just,
Right.
That's
But I
funny.
do remember reading something about HBO Go, like, or HBO in general. I think Game of Thrones is like the most pirated show ever.
Yeah.
And they're
Orange is the New
like,
Black was up there too, I think.
yeah. And as far as HBO, I don't think they like fully were like, yay, we support this. But
Right.
also it was kind of the impression like they were like, okay,
Okay.
because it gets more people into like
Absolutely.
into their programming, into their shows, and like I'm sure the hope is because I really think one day they will offer an
That's the
HBO
whole
Go
back
digital.
and forth. I think yeah.
And at that point, I think they're probably hoping that they have all these like younger people hooked.
hmm
They're into the system.
Yeah.
I love HBO. I want to have it for the rest of my life.
Right.
Can you get HBO on the Wii or no? Only
Oh.
on certain.
I don't know, probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
not
but
sure.
the whole thing is you have to have, unless you have
A
someone's password, you have to have a
subscription.
subscription, like a
I
cable
see.
subscription. And I think that is, I mean, we've talked about this. I think they probably, I'm sure, they'd get probably millions of signups for people that aren't on HBO if they switched it and did standalone like that. But my understanding is reason that's holding it back so far is they've got all this legacy agreement stuff with cable companies and all the local cable providers, and like it's all bundled in. It's like a whole distribution thing where like they can't sort of like bite that hand.
Because that's
but
only
maybe they
like
can if they get to
the
that
only
point.
premium thing that cable companies have to offer anymore. It's like, well, we'll give you HBO and Showtime for like a week.
Yeah. I'm like, really?
And then you're hooked and you don't cancel it or whatever. You just don't even realize you're paying for it.
Or if you're my family's like, why did you sign us up for this? I got it for a year. And they're like, do you know what's on these shows? And I was like, you can put a parental block on there. And then they had to ask my little sister to put the parental block on.
No, that's hilarious.
And I'm like, well, she knows the password
knows.
now. So
They're blocking
what
it from
use is
themselves.
That's so funny.
I mean,
It's a parental block to block the parents.
To block the parents, essentially. I saw my little brother watching Game of Thrones, and I felt really bad. I didn't want to be the mean sister, but I told my mom. I was like, do you realize what he's watching?
Well, 12. That's young.
Yeah.
I don't even watch Game of Thrones. I'm like, too many beheadings.
Really?
It's a little.
It's another one that I know I would love,
but
but
true. That's just the impression I have.
so many beheadings.
Just seems very aggressive.
Yeah. I would like to watch it.
Someday.
Sounds like that story has hit its peak.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we got here. We're zipping right through. This might be a quickie.
Yeah.
We have others too.
Clear Channel. Who found this one?
I
Shannon?
did. So yeah,
share?
Clear Channel is changing its name to iHeartMedia. I
Interesting.
found this like not shocking, but I'm also kind of wondering how, Apple can't like go after them for being like, oh, you're using the iBlank template. And that even seems a little dated because Apple's getting rid of that too, aren't they, for their product?
I mean, the iHeart brand has been around for a while, probably 10 years because of iHeartRadio.
10 years?
So there was maybe not that long, but iHeartRadio started it, right? And then
6, something like that.
So if there was a battle with the name thing, they've probably already dealt with that, I assume. But I'm not even sure we were talking about this beforehand. I don't think I was aware, although I'm not surprised, that iHeartRadio or the iHeart brand was Clear Channel. Or it was owned by Clear Channel, whatever.
Well,
so
it's essentially
now
just
they're taking
like
the whole thing as their name.
It's an app that you can stream every Clear Channel station, which
it's like them trying to keep traditional radio like relevant and digital.
But it's funny, like, I wonder if the name iHeartMedia is like implying something greater, like future changes to come with the company.
Well, and Clear Channel does so much more than just radio, too, right?
They have all the outdoor and...
Yeah, the concert stuff. Yep. I mean, they're, big concert promoter, obviously. Maybe promoter's not the right word, but, yeah. I mean,
when I think of it now, I think of
it,
when I hear the name, like, iHeartRadio, I think of the festival circuit first and foremost.
Oh, yeah.
That's become kind of like the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's intriguing because, a lot of people in the radio industry... they felt like Clear Channel when they bought up all the stations, they kind of ruined the heyday of radio.
Everything was the same, right?
Everything was homogenized. Everything was voice tracked. It was, not local or immediate anymore. Mm-hmm. But at least they're taking steps forward to be in the digital realm and, stay relevant. So maybe it'll turn people's opinions around about Clear Channel.
Yeah, I wonder if any of it is also... I mean, I'm sure a big part of this is PR too, but because there has been that negative vibe around the Clear Channel name, is this like also their way? No, we're really, we embrace it. We are young and hip. We have apps and we heart media. We love it.
We're not just blood-sucking money grubber.
Yeah. Scary corporate entity.
I am sure that plays a role.
Yeah.
Because Clear Channel just doesn't have a warm fuzzy feeling when you say it.
I mean, it harkened back to like an AM idea.
Yeah.
Like there was this channel that could reach further at night, and you could hear it across the nation, like Clear Channel. So
yeah,
it's old school now.
Yeah.
Speaking of radio, didn't you have this other one?
Oh yeah, this one was a little bit shocking. There's another article from Ad Age that scored radio as the highest return on investment for ad buys, which I found shocking. Yeah. I mean, how can you prove that someone in their car listening to a commercial like came into your store because they heard the commercial while they were driving by. I mean,
well, sometimes
I'm
they'll
more
do
curious to
mention
know.
such and such, mention this ad, use this code, whatever it is, so they can track it.
I want to say it was like a 6-to-1 ratio. Like you pay $1 and you get 6 back.
Well,
And that's really high compared to like banner ads and anything on the internet.
And that it's so not, I mean, in my mind, it's, you know, broadcast. I mean, even though there's some targeting because of like the genre of music or radio or talk radio or whatever, but largely it's kind of just shotgun, really, right? Like it's not super targeted, so it's surprising actually that.
I mean, that might skew the return on investment as well because larger brands are the ones using broadcast, and so they already have that clientele already.
I also wonder if the rates are just super competitive because radio's like, remember us, we're still here, we're still effective, and so it could be like you're paying not that much and you're getting a whole lot back. I don't know. I'm just
that could
speculating.
Be as well.
It's probably all of the above. And I mean, you know, it does make sense. Like it's not early. You do have still fairly, from what I understand, I mean, there's still fairly wide adoption across, you know, I mean, like you do lose internet and digital does skew younger in many cases, not entirely, but I mean in certain ways. And
who has the money to spend on these things? It's like the older people with cars driving, and
that's true. Yeah, it's like there's still, I think there's still like, the drive time thing is still a thing that people sit in their car and listen to radio. And,
I will say I miss the radio being in New York because in California I would always be driving around.
Yeah.
I love listening to the radio. It's fun.
When you're commuting, you're underground.
Well, now you
so
can use iHeartRadio on your phone, but like it's just another app you got to download. Like the radio
plus on the subway,
has a value that you just turn it on and it's there and it's immediate. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to create your own playlist. You just say like, okay, I trust XYZ FM to like give me what I want.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the beauty of it. So I don't know. People always are like, oh, radio's dying. It's like, no.
I still love it. Over the weekend, we rented a car. I was in Niagara Falls area, and we were driving around, and I was like, this is so fun. And also, there's like so many songs I hadn't even heard yet. Because now I'm out of like the loop of the radio. When I came back to like my desk on Monday, I'm like Spotifying all the new hit songs I learned about.
I don't think it's ever going to, at least anytime soon, going to go away. I think it'll keep changing and become more and more like merging into, it's just about the channels that it's on, right? Like is it still broadcast or is it digital or is it both? Probably, you know, which it already is through the app and all that. But
well, I think they were charging different rates. I mean, for a long time, people were digitally streaming other content, and it wasn't a simulcast of what was on air. And so now that it is a simulcast, or if your station switched to that, you get better ratings because it counts twice. And then the advertising buy would be different because you're like, oh, it's on digital and on the air. So maybe the rates
more bang for your buck,
yeah.
like print and digital for our website and our print version. Yeah. Makes sense. Interesting.
So they're making waves.
They are.
Go radio.
Conference. Interesting. So this study was presented at the Advertising Research Foundation's Rethink 2014 conference in New York on Monday. Though it was sponsored by Clear Channel slash iHeartMedia.
Slash they paid for this research.
Well, they said we didn't touch the data. Didn't touch the data. We let Nielsen Catalina do all the analysis. We just paid for it.
Okay, what always bothers me about, you know, Nielsen ratings and, well, what formerly was Arbitron and has now been purchased by Nielsen is that there's really no other option. Like, it's a monopoly for ratings.
Yeah.
So how do you know that, you know, your competitor's not in bed with the ratings company and, like, making them skew the PPM meters that go out and stuff like that? I mean, it's just, sometimes there's just no explanation for for some of the data that comes out. So
it's fascinating. I would actually like to read this whole piece. Part of the high ROI probably relates to radio's relatively low pricing. It would help if I'd read this, then I would have made that point for sure. But I totally thought the same thing, just off the top of my head. Oh, wait, if you live in New York, you probably don't drive, so you may never listen to the radio. This is Wood.
So she believes one reason maybe people's affinity with the radio station, something media buyers in New York may have trouble believing.
Yeah.
I mean,
in local markets, like it is, you can't get more local. I mean, that was the stupidest thing I've ever said. But you know what I'm saying? Like small towns and local markets, like they want to hear what's happening there. Like it's still connected to give me the local news, the local ads, and local ads are not going to do like I mean they'll do some digital buys and things for local sites and things, but like if you want to know you're reaching people around the corner to come into your shop, you'd be on radio locally.
Well, how do you think that would affect like what we're doing as content marketers, since it's very much it's not local? I mean, are they going to have like geotags now that we can like serve up different video options?
Oh yeah,
to people
that already you can already do that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it can ever really be replaced, like how local it is. I'll never forget one night I was driving past a candy factory that's kind of famous in Chicago, and as I was driving past, the DJ was talking about that very factory, and I'm like, this is so crazy. It just like,
how do they know?
Really clicked with me that like this is local, and they know what I know, and that's kind of like why you wanted to keep tuning in.
Right.
Well, I like this sort of thing too. Like over the weekend, they're like mentioning that there's this big concert that night, and then we drove through like the downtown area, and there's a big ad for it in the downtown. I'm like, everything's just like it's kind of nice,
right? Yeah,
right.
I mean, connected to the place,
and no doubt if you went on any of the local websites, or even just on any website while you're there, it's going to serve you up local ads targeted to you because you're there. But it's still, it's not quite the same like
something about
communal thing where someone's talking to you about the ad, or the ad even still is people's voices, not just like a display thing that feels removed in general. Yeah. Our radio.
Makes me wonder, like, that connection that you have with like radio. Like, are you ever really gonna feel that with like a YouTube channel? I mean, I know there's these YouTube stars that maybe like, teen girls watch and like learn about makeup and fashion and style. Like, I wonder if they have that sort of affinity for those personalities as they would, maybe in the 70s or 80s for like a radio personality that brought them all the coolest music.
I think so. I mean, the thing with the YouTube thing, I think, is that it's not about the local part, but it's about being so narrowcast, like specific niche interests. So it's like, oh, there are other people that, I mean, that's the whole power of the internet, right? It's like, I thought it was just me that liked this thing, but there's all these people and this other person who totally gets me and talks about it all the time.
Right.
But locally too, I suppose. You could.
I guess it's harder to monetize the niche markets. I mean, it's not hard to monetize, but it's hard to find like the specific advertiser that's willing to spend that much money to get that very small.
Right.
On such
that is true. That is the key. Depending on particularly the size of the market and all that, if they're not a huge national company with local locations, but it's a small local business, they just don't have the same bucks. But maybe that's why they're going straight to local radio, whose rates maybe are doable for them, and they're actually getting the return out of. So interesting.
No radio.
I
do heart the radio.
Yeah, we heart the radio.
Media.
Actual radio. We don't have a video or anything, I don't think, this week. We'll have to bring back the old video. We'll just have to ask Brandon to just send us videos.
Yeah. What's your favorite video of the week?
What are you watching? And we'll pull that up. Well, Devour always has the latest great stuff.
I was on Vimeo yesterday, and there was this one. It's called Inside Me, and basically this guy used some sort of software. Yeah, that one. It was a staff pick. It was like a software that scanned his body, but it's basically like really trippy. He manipulated it into this like animation.
Whoa. So this is like data, is this data from a scan turned into a visualization kind of thing? Or is it?
From what I understand,
the
I could be
actual
totally
stylized.
wrong.
3D scanning technique that allows visualization of the body inside and out.
Wow.
So like he scanned
his own stylized the actual
body.
visuals.
Yeah. And the music's really cool. It's like very trippy. Nice. Like, do you remember when you had Windows Media Player and that like screensaver thing
Visualizer,
would come up?
man.
This is like an awesome version of that.
Oh, cool. I will put this in the post.
Cool. Yes. So Inside Me, we're not watching it. Well, we are watching it right now, but you can watch it in the accompanying blog post with this podcast, soon to be posted. In the next 24 hours or so. Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else? Shall we wrap her up?
Yeah, I think
that's it.
All right. All the news that's
efficient
to discuss. Boom, boom, boom. Excellent. Well, thanks as always. We are the Magnet Media Labs podcast. You can find us at magnetmediafilms.com/blog. YouTube.com/MagnetMediaFilms, Twitter.com/MagnetMediaInc, Facebook.com/MagnetMediaInc, Instagram.com/MagnetMediaInc.
Yeah, everywhere.
There are others, but those are the biggies, I think. And Google Plus, of course, here where you can talk to us. We hope one of these days. I'm at Ryan. I'm at Ryan Swearingen on Twitter. Emily's Emily_A_Wilson.
Yeah.
Shannon is at Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
There you
Shenanigans is taken.
go. Shenanigans.
Yeah.
I had to get creative.
I like it. And RJ is not with us, but he is at RJ Coops.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thanks so much. Have a lovely week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is really cool.